Welcome back to my YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the EGD zone. And once again, in today's session, we will be focusing on a grade 12 question from paper 2, examinations of 2025 June. Okay, so in today's question, we will be doing isometric drawing. And we know that isometric drawing is one of the most complex topics for most of the EGD learners. Okay, so my reason for doing this video is to enhance your understanding in isometric drawing so that most of you can see how do we combine our isometric drawing using our different projection views. All right, so firstly I would like to apologize for my quality of the video because I struggled to get this question paper. As you can see, some of the words are not clearly enough to see, but yeah, I'm glad that I managed to get this question paper so that I can show you guys how you would have approached such question in an examination. Okay, so looking at this question, we're given the front view, the top view, and a left view of a casting. So how do we recognize which orthographic projection are we using here, right? So simply because this is paper 2, you know that paper 2 falls under third orthographic projection, meaning this will be our front, this will be our top, and our left, also our right. Okay, so here will be our left, our front, and this will be our top. All right, and you are also given the starting position of point Q. All right, so if you are given a starting position of point Q, it means you have to start here. No one is going to start there, no one is going to start here. We are starting here. You are also instructed to make a drawing of a casting into isometric drawing. Make Q the lowest point of the drawing. Show all necessary constructions and auxiliary views. No hidden detail is required. And as you can see, the allocation mark was 44. So in that case, you have to set yourself a certain time that you can spend on this question only. So I am saying if you are given 44 marks, it means every line is a minute. Okay, so you have to spend approximately 45 minutes on this question only. All right, so I will try by all means to be also fast so that this video is not much longer. Okay, so to start with, this is our top, this is our front. Here in our front, that's where we can see our heights. Okay, and then also here on our left, you can see our heights, and then here we can see our side lengths, right? And then yeah, also here we can see some of the angles from our isometric circle, because here they are not clearly enough. Also here on our front view, right? So now I have written some, actually I have rewritten some of the measurements here because they were very too small for you guys to see. So I wanted you guys to see them, and so that you can understand on how I get my isometric drawing. Understand? So now you can see that we are given this is the length of 121, and then this is the height. Okay, this is 10, this is 20, meaning this is 30 from here to here. And then also here we are given the breadth, which is 82 in total. Okay, so to start with, every time when we are constructing our horizontal lines in isometric, we use 30 degrees set square. Okay, and then when we construct our vertical lines, we only use 90 degrees. All right, so let's start with our isometric. Here on this side, this will be our breadth from point Q, which is here. I forgot to show you guys that Q is here, right? So here we are using our 30 degrees set square. So we have to measure from Q, which is from Q to here is 121. 120 is here. 121. All right. And then on this side we have 82 in total. This is 82. Then once you get your measurements, use your 90 degrees set square also on this side. Okay. And then what do you do now? We have to get our height. Our height is 30 from here to the top side, which is from here to here is 30. Okay. So coming here, this is 30. And then now can use again our 30 degrees set square. So if we have our box, it will be easier for us to get our isometric view combined. So now what do we do from here? We have to check from our given views, okay, that we have a measurement from here to here, which is 18, and also from here to here, which is 18, then 35 here. Okay, we have to include it from Q going that side, right? Because this is from Q going to the right, Q going to the right. Okay, we are moving that direction. So from here to here we have to measure 18. In isometric, ladies and gentlemen, everything that counts here is only your measurement and your accuracy. All right. So if you are not accurate enough, you are going to be affected in your marks. Okay. So 18 and 18. Okay. So now from here, the back to here is 50, right? So going to mark my 50 from the back to here. Okay. So on this 50 here, this is what I'm going to do. And then we have an overlap of 10 from here, which is, this is 50, an overlap of 10 going at the back. So from here, I'm using my 30 degrees set square again, I'm writing 10 on this line. And then I use my 30 degrees set square again, coming this side. Okay. So this is 35 from here to here. So on this line, I have to measure my 35, which is here. Okay. Then because it won't be visible, I'll just have to make a construction line so that I know where I going from that. Okay. I hope you guys can see. And now I would have to measure my 10, which is this one, from here at the bottom at the back, going up, and then from here to here I measure 17. Okay, so let's start measuring 17 on this line, 17 here, and then get height of 17, then get our height of 10 here. Every time when you get a point, you use your 30 hanger. Okay, and then from here, which is we are here now, coming here, we have a length of 7. So you just have to measure 7 from here. 7 is there, right? Then to measure 7 also on this line here. Right. 80, 60. Also from this corner here, you can measure with our tape. And you can see that our 7 has to match with this point here. So I am confidently now to say I can use my solid lines here. Alright, and then also from here to here, okay, and again from here to here. So now I have gotten this part here, okay. So now I will have to include this part and also that part. So how do we go about that? Let's come here. So here on our left view, you can see that we have a diagonal line here, which is at the top. This line. This diagonal line here, it is this line, and it is this line. Let me show you with a color marker. I'm saying this diagonal line here, it is this line, and in our top view, it is this line. Okay, how do we get this diagonal line? So we say from here to here is 18, which is we have measured from here to here is 18. Then on that 18 we can use our 30-degree angle again. Okay, then we have to measure 25 from here to here. This is 25. Is here, and then from that corner on that side coming here it is 20. Okay, and then this is your 20. And 25 is here, and then the height from here, which is from our Q to here, it is 15. To measure 15 there. So once we get our 15, we use our 30-degree set square. Okay, and also on this side. All right. So now we can before we can do that, we'll have to come here. From here to here is 18, and 18 until here we add 10, which is going to be 28 from here to here. Okay, so on this line I can come and measure out my 28, 25, 26, 27. This is my 28. Okay, so confidently so I can use my solid lines here. So because here also it is 18, you have to measure 18, which is 18 we measured until here. Okay, So here we will have to do a solid line also. Right. So now we are almost done with our base, which is this part here. So now we will need to include this diagonal line here. So they give us a measurement also from here to here is 15. So coming on this corner, constructing a line from here and then measuring 15. This is my 15. Okay. So from here, this is my 30. Okay. Oh, before you have to measure our 15 here, ladies and gentlemen, on this line. Let's measure 15. This is our 15 here, and then from here you can use our 30 coming this side, and then from there, which is our overlap. Okay, let me trace it back. Coming here. Yeah, so it is going to be something like this. So I can use my solid lines now. I am going to show you how I got this thing. 15 on this side. Okay. So now they tell me that from here to here, which is 18 plus 35, it is going to give me 53. So meaning from here to here it is 53, which is from this corner here. Okay. 53. 53. Which is here. Okay. So confidently so also I can use my solid line here, and then also on the side I can use my solid line. Right. So now what's left of me is to finish off this part here. Alright, and now including this one here is a solid line. Okay. So from here to here, which is from here, they give us an overlap of 10, and then from here to here they give us a measurement of 18. Meaning when we are here going that side, we have to measure 18. So from here coming here we have to measure 18. Here's our 18. Okay, and then what you will need to do is that on this overlap of 10, how do we go about it? We have to include it here on our horizontal line, this overlap of 10, and then we have gotten it. Okay, so coming here using our 90-degree angle, when we got it, have to see, and then we make a parallel line to this one, because this is at an angle. You can see this diagonal line here. You have to make a parallel line to this one because this is a non-isometric line. Right, so coming here until where it meets our construction line that we did from this overlap of 10 from here to here. Okay, then construction again, and then from here again, no, let me check. Okay, use a solid line here, and then also here, right? Then this is our overlap of 10. Can use our solid line there, then also here. So how do we go about this one on this side? So from here also on this corner, we have to use a parallel line to this diagonal line. Okay, let me make this diagonal line with a orange marker so that you guys can see. This diagonal line here, it is this diagonal line. So a parallel line to this one, you can see, you can make your solid line. Okay. Yes, so I can remove this one here. So in your left view, this diagonal line is going to be all these orange lines here. Okay, only this diagonal line because they're at an angle, right? So now we are done with our base. So what we will need to include, we will need to include this hexagon, and then it has a depth of 10 millimeter. You can see here. So we have to do our auxiliary view. Okay, so how do we do an auxiliary view of a hexagon? I always say you have to say 360 divided by number of sides. Okay, and then in this case we get to work with a 60-degree angle. So let's construct our auxiliary view here. So our side length that was given is 25, right? So we measure 25. That's 25. Okay, then you take your compass and set it to that measurement of 25, and then it will be easier for you to get. Okay, construct an arc. Construct an arc on the side, and then where these two arcs meet, come again, you construct also where these two arcs meet, coming also on this side. This is your intersection. Okay, and then now you'll have your auxiliary view of a hexagon. Okay, and then one thing I'm going to advise you to do is that you have to include this hexagon inside a square. Okay, so that we can feature it here in our drawing, because we can normally feature it without including it in a square. Okay, so make a construction line on these outer edges. This is our center line, right? Then also this is our center line. So now I have included my hexagon inside a square. So I will have to find this center line. Where is this center line? This center line, it is between 35 here. You can see, meaning it is between 35 from here to here. So coming here, meaning from here to here, we'll have to get our half length of 35. And half length of 35 is 17.5, meaning from here to here you can measure 17,5, which is between 17 and 18. 17 and 18. So yeah, and then can quickly say this is our center line for the hexagon. Okay, then on this center line, and then you can see that our hexagon is touching this line from here. So from here, which is at the top there, from there we have to get the measurement to our center line, horizontal center line. Okay, so you can take your compass. This is your center line. Then you can include your center line there. Okay, then once you have included your center line, what you can do is that you can take a measurement also to this bottom side. Okay, so this is going to be your measurement. Okay, so you can create this square that you created there. Measuring our square. Okay, you can see our square is going to be here, and on this side our square is going to end there. Okay, so now we know that one point is going to be here and the other point is going to be on this construction line we did for the square. Okay, so now we have to get these points here. So from this center line, vertical center line, you measure to this point, which is 12,5, 12,5. Okay, because this is 25, this is going to be 12,5, 12,5, 12,5, 12,5. Okay, and then we can use our tape to take those measurements to this side. Okay, and then we now know we have a point here, a point here, here, and here. Okay, so we can now use our solid lines confidently so to get our hexagon. Okay, and then because our hexagon has a depth of 10 here on the center line. Okay, so on this center line you come here and construct a vertical line, and then you go and measure 10. Okay, so all these lines come into the center. As you can see, they are in hidden detail lines, so we are going to be visibly seeing them. So we can use our solid lines. All right, so now we are not done yet. One thing that we will need to do is we will need to do our isometric circle. Okay, so to those who don't know how to do isometric circle, I advise you guys to go and look for videos on how to do isometric circle, because isometric circle counts a lot of marks. Okay, isometric circle count a lot of marks. As you can see, it counts 11.5. Okay, and 11.5 is a lot of marks, ladies and gentlemen. So now we have to see our isometric circle. It has a breadth of 8. Okay, and then they give us a center line. We have to get our center line, meaning our center line, it is 25. From here until here it is 25. Okay, so yeah, let's come here on this side and measure 25. 25 is here, so this is going to be our center line. And then they give us a breadth of 30. So our center line is going to be here and here. Okay. And also this side. So now we have to check the radius of our circle, meaning our radius that we are given is 35, meaning from here to our center line it is going to be 35. Okay, so coming here, measuring 35. So 1, 2, 3, 35 is here. Then okay, to those who know how to construct isometric circle, they know how important center lines are. Okay, it is very important for you guys to take into consideration how to get your center line for isometric circle. Okay, so now we want to do our isometric circle with a radius 35. So, and then this isometric circle, it is cut on this side at an angle of 45, then on this side it is cut at an angle of 20 degrees. So what you will need to do is that you can create an auxiliary view here of this isometric circle, radius 35. So this is going to be our center line also. Okay, so taking our compass, constructing half circle so that we get our angles from this isometric circle. Okay, then coming here on the center, we have to measure angle 20 and angle 45. This is going to be angle 10, angle 20 is here. Okay, so with this angle 20, so you can say this is 20 degrees. Okay, and then also standing on the center line, this is 40. 45 is between 40 and 50, so this is 45 here. Okay, this is 45. So you only need this measurement here and this measurement here. So yeah, we will get to that. So now I want us to do our isometric circle. Let's start here at the front. So because this is radius 35 from here to here, I can include these construction lines so that they can guide me on my isometric circle. Okay, this is radius 35, right? Yes, so this is my isometric circle. I mean my isometric box for my isometric circle. Okay, yeah, and then how do we get our isometric circle? I'm saying the open corners, which are these ones, you just avoid them. You come on these closed corners, you make your diagonal line to pass through your center line. Okay, these corners are more open than these ones. Okay, so you come on these closed corners, you make a diagonal line and join them, and then come on this vertical center line, you come on that open corner, and then also from your open corner to the bottom of your vertical center line. Okay, and then now we can get our isometric. Okay, So on this side, we are going to use this midpoint, which is this corner here. Extend our compass from this horizontal center line here, create an isometric circle like this. Okay, and then also on this side, you can stand on this midpoint and create our isometric circle like this. Okay, and then in order for us to get this other arc here, we have to stand on this midpoint. Then also to get this arc, we have to come on this midpoint. So coming on this point, we have to say this is our circle. Then also on this side. Okay, so and you can see that our circle, it is cut exactly when it comes here. Okay, so from here to here, you can measure our 30. So our 30 is going to be measured here. So now coming here, measuring 30 on this line, 30 is here. So our isometric is going to have a line here. Our isometric circle is going to have a line here. So meaning the arcs here at the bottom of this line, we are going to leave them like that, and then we can use solid lines on these arcs here. Okay, and then we have to get our 20 degrees. We don't have to forget, ladies and gentlemen, 20 degrees and 45 degrees on this center line of radius 35. Okay, so how do you go about that? We come here, take a measurement from here, because remember, when I got on this isometric view, I made a construction line, because this is my center line, also this is my center line. Okay, center line, right? This is angle 20, and then this is angle 45. And then where it touches the circumference of my circle, I constructed my vertical line to my center line, also here to my center line. Okay, so I will have to check on this side. This is 20. So from my center line to 20 here, I'm featuring this here. Okay, and then I make a vertical construction line, and then where it touches this circumference of my isometric, meaning this is going to be my point. Okay, so I'm taking this point, joining it with my center line. Okay, and then now I can confidently finish off this with a solid line. Okay, yeah, and then now I have to include also 45. So coming here from my center line, 45 on this side. So this is 45. Okay, so this measurement here, you don't have to worry about it, because remember, your 45 must touch this circumference of the circle of the isometric box that we created here. Okay, and then you can use your solid line here. Okay, and then what you did here, you just have to transfer it at the back so that you can get your, remember, from here to here they said it's 35. It's 35. It's going to be, no, it's 30. 30 is going to be here. then date is going to be here. So you can join these two lines here. Okay, and then here we can measure date again. Then you can confidently so join these two lines. So what is short of us to do is that we have to complete this arc of the circle here at the back. So how do you go about that? How did we get this arc? So you get this arc, you got this arc from standing on this midpoint, okay, from here until here, and then you got this arc standing on this midpoint. So what we can do, we can do our construction lines from this midpoint, then also this one, then come here and measure 8 again, because the breadth of this is 8. Okay, it's midpoint, midpoint, and also here, this is my midpoint. Okay, so now I can say, right, so I now know that on this midpoint, which is this one, I have to get an arc from here coming on this side. Okay, so using this midpoint as my reference and this arc coming on this midpoint, right, and then in order for me to get this arc, I have to use this midpoint. So I'm using this one as my reference. So I'm coming here on this midpoint. You can see confidently so first solid line. All right, and then now I have to finish off my isometric drawing. Okay, yeah, I think we are done here, so I can quickly use my solid lines also on this side. Okay, so this is how you could have approached this kind of question here. Okay, so yeah, it's like this. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for taking your time to watch this video, and please don't forget to hit that like button, and if you found this video very helpful for you, don't forget to hit that like button. Okay, and once again, thank you.